Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sean here at BlueRidgeSilverhound, bringing you again the next edition of the Monday Market Report, this time for the week ending October 16th, 2022. I hope everyone's having a great evening if you're catching this on a Sunday night, or if you're checking it out Monday morning during your little drive time to work. Hopefully you guys are having a great morning as well. So we are going to take a look at the modern coin market. All coins, of course, are graded. My usual stipulations are as follows. These are all coins that are post-1900 in date, going all the way up to, today. So if there's any 2022 coinage on the list, you'd be sure to see that on there as well. But overall, the market, we did have a little bit of a slowdown in high-priced stuff last week, and great collections usually is my go-to auction house because they put out these crazy listings each and every single week. A lot of, I would say to this point, since they've become a big auction house on the internet, a lot of folks have grown accustomed and very comfortable to using Great Collections as one of the premier auction houses on the internet. So yeah, pretty nice. They had a little bit of an off week last week, but they've roared back with a vengeance with some newest, just amazing top-end trophy coins. A lot of registry set pieces we'll be talking about today. Might it apply to you? I don't know. Do you have any of these coins? Are they already graded? Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out where exactly the market is, while there are other areas within collectibles, like sports cards, that have been slip-sliding away. Coins and currency have not really followed that trend. All right, they've performed very strongly through the summertime. We're seeing the normal holiday kind of busy factor with this right here. So there's a lot to love, and again, all of the listings are for the week ending October 16th on GreatCollections.com. If you guys are looking for a marquee piece to add to your collection, go ahead and check them out. They have various coins of all different price values, price points. So it doesn't matter what your budget is. They can take care of that for you. Just go ahead and peruse on down over there. But if you got some pretty big pieces as well that you'd like to sell, look no further. Great Collections are trustworthy. They're fantastic. They put customer service front and center on every single transaction, so you don't have to worry about it. Plus, you get your money relatively quick compared to some of the other bigger auction houses where it could take up to 60 days on some occasions. So, pretty nice. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's see what kind of really, really sweet looking things we got going on here. Starting out with this 1995 Lincoln Memorial Cent. This one just so happens to have the doubled die obverse. It's also the FS 101 in the Cherry Picker's Guide. Truly magnificent looking coin here. Of course, as a Mid-State 69 red, that truly makes it the magnificent coin that you want to own. Either as a variety addition to your collection, or as perhaps a variety registry, which does exist. So yeah, I mean, just look at the doubling. You see it mostly on Liberty and on the Motto. They're two of the main points for that. But overall, this is just a general peach of a coin. Very, very nice. NGC, of course, got this one, the Mid-State 69 red. This one ended up hammering tonight at $1,743.75. The next one that we have here is, again, another supremely cherry-picked coin. If you guys are overlooking your 1990 Proof sets and you're not looking for either the No S Lincoln Memorial that could be in there or the Jefferson Nichols of the same date, I don't know what you're doing. You have to cover all the bases here when you are looking for some of these coins. There is supposed to be an S mint mark on every single Proof 1990 coin. The Lincoln Cent is no exception. It just so happens that this particular one does not have a mint mark. It looks like it was inadvertently left off of the dies that were used, or the die rather, that was used to create this masterpiece of ingenuity. But you see PCGS graded this one as a Proof 69 red, which is a fantastic grade. I think the last one we talked about was a 68, and it was still a very pricey coin. And it shows no S right on the label right there. This one ended up selling for $5,062.50 here in the last, well, few minutes. The next one that we have here, another proof coin. Again, there's no shortage of proof coins that exist during a very, very cheap age that we live in. Cheap in the sense that you can still pick up a lot of these proof sets for peanuts. Post 1960, a lot of these have really not gone up. All right, it's all of the pre 1960 stuff that's starting to jump up. A lot of that material has been cherry picked through at this point, and that is mostly because of the relative low mintage on a lot of them. But 1970 is a very special year because there is a number of various varieties that you can look out for, most notably on the Lincoln cent front. This one right here is doubled die obverse FS102. It's the large over small date, beautiful, beautiful coin. Again, if you're not cherry picking these type of varieties in some incredibly affordable type sets that you can pick up at a dealer or at a coin show, again, you're missing out. This one right here is a PCGS graded Proof 67 red Cameo. It's got some nice frostiness to it, but not the deepest frost to give it that deep Cameo designation. So this one right here ended up selling for $3,206.25. Again, if you're not looking for these, you're leaving quite a bit of money on the table. So make sure you got that magnifier handy and get to work. Here's the 1969D. So obviously this one is here strictly to fulfill a registry spot. That's really the only reason why that this would be on the list. Of course, the registry set game, that particular scene has boosted up in popularity. I would say about 10, 15 years ago, ever since the inception of the internet and online grading submissions and all that great stuff. This is a new untapped, I guess, arena within the numismatics that is really taking off, and everybody is receptive to it. Some people still don't understand because, like in this case, the 69D is a 67 red. It's a very top-notch, very, very heavy grade. This one sold for $2,191.50. Some of the purists will look at that amount of money and think, well, I could just as easily buy a $20 double eagle, for that kind of money. It could be slabbed as a mid-state 63 and I'd be good. That's kind of like the parallels we live in with the registry set and every other type coin that exists on the face of the planet. So I would say if you were going to dive right into this, number one, extremely difficult to obtain grades of this ilk on anything post 1960. But if you're able to capture one of these at the highest grade level, they call that the top population, sell it right away. Because again, it's a very fluid market. There are people constantly force feeding these type of coins to the grading companies, and generally one will pop out every so often, and that'll just kind of kill the market, so to speak, on some of these coins that at one point probably would have been a $5,000 coin, but you keep adding to that population of the highest grade, and it's not nearly as special as it used to be. So sell it, take your winnings, go ahead and buy that gold, that early 1933, pre-1933 gold, and really reap the rewards. But don't just willy-nilly jump into it, thinking you got it figured out. I did that and lost quite a bit. So it wasn't until the very end where I caught myself back up, but I'm never going to do that again. The next one that we have here, a little bit of a kind of note about this 1967. They didn't make your traditional kind of, regular proof sets and all that stuff. They had an SMS set for 1967. So there were no mint sets either. So finding an actual business strike coin that is this clean and this presentable is quite tough. So that's why 65s to 67s are all very difficult to obtain in, say, grades like this of a 67 red. So, if you have access to BU rolls of these, there aren't too much more out there, but you just never know where you're going to come across these. Make sure you look out for the beauties that will grade 67 and higher. This one sold for $7,032.38. Might I remind you, that is a 7 as the first number, $7,000 for this coin that I'm sure a lot of us have come across in circulation, probably just not nice full red like this one is. Here's a 1949. We had some pretty nice wild moderns. 49 was one of the earlier ones. This one is a NGC Mid-State 67 Plus. Full red. Registry set all day long. That's where this one slides right into. Sold for $2,257.49. And the same goes for this one. However, this one has tremendous bonus points for the toning on there. So this is a 1940D. PCGS assigned a Mint State 68 red. Wow. It was actually able to obtain to hold on to that red designation, which is a huge score on this coin. Normally, when there's toning, the grading companies will knock it down to a red brown or sometimes even a full brown if you're not careful. But this one just has just enough personality to retain that full red status. It's a good looking coin with a lot of originality and is quite clean. Registry set all day long here. This one ended up selling a few bucks shy of $8,000, $7,931.25 this evening. All right, now we're finally on to Jefferson Nichols, and the wild craziness doesn't stop. 1995p. Yeah, I mean, this is a coin that you wouldn't think would be on the list because of how new and recent it is, but allow me to kind of elaborate why. Full struck Jefferson Nichols with full steps are all the rage today. The registry set, folks that participate in this type of high-end collecting demand the best. And this one right here has toning. It's got those wild kind of like striation lines on there, which is quite attractive in its own right. It's not a woody. This is just a byproduct, I guess, of dirty rollers, from what I hear. But along combining that with some of that toning, this is a very striking coin. Yeah, the steps look 100% hammered, clean struck. Yeah, you could see virtually every line on there. This is probably one of the best examples of a full struck nickel I've seen in quite some time. Mid-State 67 Plus is what PCGS assigned it. You can see the FS on there too. This one ended up selling for $3,319.88. Again, another wild bag of money for this thing that is barely, 27 years old? Oh, man, it just blows my mind. But, full green tone nickel? Really? I mean, how often do we see these? Once every, 2 years? Yeah, this is our big featured subject coin of the week, and we just have to throw it in here. Number one, it's not full steps. You can see that on the label all day long. However, Mid-State 67 Plus, not an easy grade to obtain on this particular date, that's for sure. But you got to give it up for that green toning. It is the single most coveted, most valuable coloration on toning, bar none. This is literal auction gold. If you're able to have any, and here's the crazy part: it's not even silver. Silver usually, has the better chance of reacting to green, or has the best reaction to obtain a green color for toning. So this one is just beautiful. What else can we say? And so is the price for a non-full steps nickel, $6,468.75. Call it like it is, $6,500. That's what I put up on the thumbnail. So, yeah, this one's going to be tough to beat, but there are other coins that did beat it this week. Here's the 44D. Again, very nice, well-toned wartime silver. How about that grade, though? NGC Mid-State 68 star. The star just really equates to beautiful eye appeal, and that's how you get the assignment of a star. This one right here ended up selling for $1,876.50, reminding you yet again, no full steps, none. And I could see why. There's a few nicks that kind of interrupt the steps left to right. And then we also have this 43D. However, aside from the grade like the previous coin received, this one actually has 5 full steps, and that's what they gave it. The toning, not nearly as impressive, but this is where kind of the rubber meets the road with full steps designation. We can all agree that the previous coin, the 44, is a much more impressive looking example compared to this one. However, with the full steps designation, that changes the game quite a bit. The previous coin sold for almost $1,900. This one sold for $2,787.62. So that's like $800 more because of the full steps. And you can only imagine what this coin would sell at if it had the same toning as the 44 we saw previous. Well, my friends, a very nice high-end 3-legged buffalo did sell this week. This one is a mid-state 65 plus. It's also got the CAC green bean on there. Wow. I mean, talk about your trophy for a Buffalo Nickel series, although it's not the finest known that we've seen. You simply cannot ignore just a great choice uncirculated example, especially when you could see everything you need to know that this is a legitimate 3-leg buffalo. This one right here ended up selling, get this, you guys like new cars? You could buy one with this coin. $29,812.50. Or you could buy a slightly used tractor, and make that thing work for you. I don't know. Whatever $30,000 can get you, this one will certainly get you there. Believe it or not, we had a few Roosevelt dimes. We had a couple Rosies, a couple Mercs. It's kind of a good day. Man, I was getting a little worried there because we hadn't seen Roosevelts in a few weeks. But here's the 1961, just kind of like out of the blue, a very common, unspectacular day to a lot of us, other than the fact that it is silver. The registry set, again, rearing its ugly head, mid-state 67 with full split bands on this, ended up selling for $1,468.12. Very nice. And then, of course, we have a little bit of love from the proof side of things. Here's a 55. Always a tough date to find any Cameo contrast whatsoever. So this one right here, first year, and where the mintages virtually plummeted from 56 to 55. I mean, we're talking a pretty considerable difference in price from one set to the other. And they're both really tough to find Cameo coins. So this one, Pcgs Proof 68 Deep Cameo, a beautiful looking coin. It's got a nice, strong frostiness on all of the devices, offset by that pretty nice deep black fields as well. This one sold for $4,050. Yeah, pretty crazy for a small little dime, right? That's about the size of your thumbnail. All right, so I'm just going to go out and say it. Out of any other kind of like modern Uber kind of variety out there that's worth like thousands of dollars, this seems to be the one that most people have more success cherry picking, especially at the highest grades. I remember one being cherry picked, 12 years ago, and it was all the rage on a certain Collectors Universe forum site. So here's another one. This one kind of brought back some of those memories because I believe that other example was the same grade. PCGS assigned this as a mid-state 65 plus, full bands, CAC certified. But remember, This is not nearly as spectacular of an overdate. This one's a 42/1 Denver compared to the Philadelphia, where that one that's in front of the 2 is pretty obvious. I mean, on this one, not so obvious, but on the Philadelphia, much more obvious. The Denvers seem to be the more expensive of the 2 coins. It's not as readily available in the marketplace. So this one sold for $26,775. Again, a very pricey coin. If you're able to cherry pick one of these sometime in your life, congratulations. Congratulations, because that is a huge win. And here's also a 1920D, all of the earlier dates with full bands. I mean, they're bonkers right now. This one's a Mid-State 65 plus. FB on there, CAC certified, NGC loved. This one ended up selling for $7,312.50. Again, not the finest known specimen of the state, but keep in mind anything from the teens and the 20s with a mint mark and full bands. Whew, man, some big coins. All right, so we have 4 quarters to close it out, and I'm happy to say that we're done. 58, again. Another time period where proof coins really they weren't supposed to look like this. They were supposed to look like this, but they never turned out like this. I would say 99% of the entire run were not Cameo whatsoever. PCGS assigned a proof 68 plus with deep Cameo. That is a pretty nice grade. My goodness. Yeah, registry set on this one as well is where it belongs. $5,500.12 was the final hammer price on this bad boy. So make sure you guys are double checking your proof sets. You never know when something like this is going to pop up. And keep in mind, any deep Cameo proof coin, make sure it's double-sided too on any one of the coins in these 1950s proof sets. Again, auction gold. All right, I love this variety. It's one of my favorites. 1950 D over S or the S over D. There's actually one of each. But this one right here, I mean, come on. These have been found and searched, and I even successfully cherry-picked one. It was a S over D, not a D over S, probably about 8 years ago. Made a lot of money on it. That's all I can remember. And we're not even talking about the really good coin market that we're still in. This one is a PCGS proof. Oh, geez. Yeah, I've been doing this too long. Mid-State 66. Very cherry pickable. A lot of these dealers tend to miss these, believe it or not, in quite staggering numbers. So they're still out there. A few of these have been known to be cherry-picked, even on eBay, if the pictures are decent. But give it up. This is just a great variety. It's in the Cherry Picker's Guide. $5,063.16 was what this one sold for. And final 2, we're talking about some massively big, huge coins. Now, the 41 you see here is not your prototypical big, massive coin, because if you needed, say, a nice mid-state example like a 65, you could pick one up for under $50, for an album set or something. Now, when we get to mid-state 68, the game changes significantly, right? It's just this type of grade is featured on a very minute percentage of the total mintage run of this particular coin. And keep in mind, it's Philadelphia. It's not some other weird, funky, like a D or an S, where it's a lot more scarce. But yeah, Philadelphia's were workhorse coins. A lot of these did not survive beyond the initial strike. They do have a lot of little nicks and marks and stuff by the time they hit your cash registers. So this one right here, a staggering sale, $10,968.75 was the final price on this one. But not the final price, especially when it comes to 1916 Standing Liberty quarters with a mintage of only 52,000 pieces, ladies and gentlemen. This has been kind of like the folklore of coins that everybody wants to own or cherry pick. Cherry picking dateless types is actually a lot more easier than finding a truly gem mid-state example like you see here. 65 was assigned grade by Pcgs. I mean, come on. This thing has investment and portfolio and typeset and everything else written all over it. $24,750 was the final price on this particular coin. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the final coin of the night. So again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. There is a lot of really cool coins tonight. Great job by Great Collections, as always. Again, check them out if you haven't done so. Easy to buy, easy to auction, and easy to bid on anything that you want on there. Don't forget to love, share, subscribe, and follow me on TikTok, BlueRidgeSilverhound. I am on there doing lots of shorts videos for you guys due to popular demand because I talk too much, apparently. But that's it. Yeah, that's going to go ahead and do it. Hopefully you enjoyed the hobby that you're in right now, which is numismatics and anything else. You guys take care. Have a great week, and I'll see you on the next coin video. So long.